BCMM network. The following broadcast is solely for the enjoyment and entertainment of our audience. This is the Blue Collar Minute Men Show. Let's go, Brandon.
Got a little something special.
All right.
Oh man, I love it. Welcome everybody. Shouts out to Kid Rock and his new song he dropped, We the People.
Let's go, Brandon.
I love it. Hey, and if you're in Canada, truck you, Trudeau. Oh man. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another fun-filled evening with the Blue Collar Minute Men. Bill, how's it going?
Oh, fantastic. Just living the dream, sitting here with COVID. I guess that's what they call it, but I've not tested positive.
Well, speaking of that, Justin is not with us because he is down with it. He's laid up in bed. So
I went into the doctor the other day with a sinus infection. They checked me, said you got a sinus infection. Gave me medication, sent me out the door. My wife goes in the same doctor, same time, just right after me. They said, "Oh, here, we're going to give you all this medication. You got COVID." So I'm sitting there going, well, we sleep in the same house, same room, same bed, but I don't have it. So you're not going to give me any medicine? I don't know.
I don't know. It's all that training you went through that protects you.
Yes, I don't know.
Oh man, but sorry folks, had to move my screen a little bit. But a lot went on this week, a lot of stupid stuff still going on. And let's just kick this off with Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi.
Look.
Okay.
That showed
if it was anyone else, for an example, if it was Tucker Carlson who said this, who insinuated the things she said, he would be gone permanent. Whoopi gets a 2-week vacation.
Yeah. And let's just be clear. If you all haven't heard what she said, she literally said, her words, not mine, her words was that the Holocaust was not about race.
Turf war against some white people.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Everybody knows their history. Everybody knows what Hitler was trying to do. This is the most idiotic thing that woman could have come out of her mouth.
Mass genocide. And she said it had nothing to do with race.
Yeah, Hitler tried to literally
exterminate the Jews.
Exterminate them, I know. And here's something else. I actually listened. We don't have the audio set up, but I actually listened to the footage of when she said that. You could hear the people in the audience at the View just go, ooh. You know, it was that kind of tone across the audience. And I think the rest of her friends on the panel there kind of like, oh crap, she fucked up. But like Bill said, if it had been anybody else, they'd have been fired. Do I think she should be fired? My personal opinion, yes. The reason why I think she should be fired is not just for her stupid comment, but because we're allowing this silly lunacy and this idiotic, like twisted version of what our history actually is. And if we just keep allowing this without any repercussions, it's going to continue.
Yep.
So She should be fired. That's my opinion.
It's okay. They should all be fired, but
Yeah.
that's neither here nor there. But I mean, to say something stupid like that, I mean, and apparently doesn't feel sorry she said it.
No, she really doesn't. She tried to give a half-assed apology, and I listened to that too. And it was just kind of like one of those things where it's like you could kind of tell she's been pressured to say something, so she had to say something. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, how your mother would tell you you apologize, and you'd be like, well, I'm sorry. And then your mother would smack you and be like, you mean it. That's the kind of apology I felt that Whoopi Goldberg would gave, was that kind of, oh, I'm sorry, but nobody's smacking her to tell her to make her mean it. But Bill, just from my own knowledge and what I've seen, I was, of course, I went to Germany when I was with the Guard unit. We did some work over there, and we were on a base that used to be an Nazi SS training camp.
Mm-hmm.
And supposedly, the story goes that there's a stone wall that still stands on that base that has possibly, I don't know how many bodies buried underneath the wall.
Yeah, I've been there. I spent a little time there. I told you about when I went there and stuff, but I also got to go see Dachau, which was a concentration camp, and just real people. It really happened.
Yeah. And to further go for it, my mother, of course, my mother's 80, about to be 84 this year. She was, with her first marriage, married to a military man and was stationed over in Germany. She went to where they were burning Jews in the dang it, I lost the camp name, but they had big furnaces and they were bringing them in on train cars, and they were burning them. And they said even today you can still smell the burnt body flesh that's ingrained in that everything around that camp. So folks, I really, to anyone who even says anything like that, it didn't happen, they really need to just be smacked. I think we should just start smacking them, because it did happen. And Lord bless the Jewish people. I'm just saying. But we've got to stop the lunacy, the stupid comments, the attack on history, because it's not going to stop there.
Mm-mm.
Bill, we said it before that, socialism and communism, one of the things they do is get rid of history. And what was the other thing they did here recently? They pulled down somebody else's statue here recently, didn't they?
Theodore Roosevelt.
Yes. Why?
President of the United States. Because he had a Native American on one side and an African American on the other side of his horse. He's sitting on his horse.
And he sat on his horse.
Yeah. But he was leading them into the future. Okay. That was supposed to be the theme of the statue.
Right.
The way they twisted it was he's sitting above them on his horse, and they're subservient.
Gotta stop it. It makes me mad anymore. It makes my brain hurt. It really makes my head hurt. Oh, geez. But to go on with something else, folks, that's Whoopi. Whether you watch The View or not, that's up to you. I stay away from all that crap. Don't watch any of it. But
except when you're at your mom's house.
Yeah, except when I'm at my mom's house. I kind of don't have a choice. I usually sit like this on my phone, and every once in a while I hear bits and pieces of things that come up, and I'm like, whoa, I know that's not true. That's a lie. Oh, but speaking of that, hey, let's move up to our friends north of us, Bill, up in Canada, with the truckers going on up
there. Okay, Mr. Trudeau run into his basement.
I had posted a meme that had a big semi truck, and on the side of the trailer of the truck it said, "Let's go, Brandon," and then underneath it said, "Truck you, Trudeau." So I'm like, glad to see our Canadian friends are getting into the spirit.
Did now everybody knows what we're talking about. I'm sure you've seen on the news where the truckers in Canada are going against the vaccine mandates.
Yes.
Just went crazy. And our friends over at PayPal, oh no, GoFundMe, decided not to give them any money
Ooh.
after they collected hundreds of thousands of dollars for the support of these guys. GoFundMe's refused to distribute the funds because it goes against community standards. Although, when Black Lives Matter and Antifa was burning down the cities all across the country, their GoFundMe pages were paying them.
And let's just be clear.
That goes with community standards. I guess burning down the community.
Oh,
good stuff. Okay.
But let's say this too. You know, there is proof, and I can't remember if I said this last podcast or not, but chief of police up there in Canada got on the news and publicly said there has been no damage to public property. There has been no looting. There has been no breaking of the laws by these truckers. He says for the most part, it has been peaceful, and he has no reason to arrest them. Peaceful.
No damage.
Yeah, no damage. And then, of course, Trudeau, after he couldn't get the record companies and the police department to do anything, has decided he might try to get his Canadian military to then do something. Now, folks, listen. You got to see the writing on the wall. If he does do that, and that does happen, you're going to be looking at a dictatorship in Canada.
You already are.
Australia's about gone. I mean, those folks down there ain't got. Somebody's going to have to save them. That's all I got to say. And at this point, somebody's going to have to go in and save Canada. The only reason that we're not in any of that issue is because of the Second Amendment. That's because we got a bunch of damn guns. Look at all these places that ain't got no guns and look at the shape that they're in. I don't think you're going to try to go into Texas or try to go into Florida, try to go into Georgia or Alabama or the hills of frickin' West Virginia and try to take somebody's guns. So that is what we have going for us. And Bill, I'm going to be watching that kind of close because I'm interested to see what's going to wind up happening with that. I did see today as well where it looks like the farmers in Canada have kind of joined in helping the truckers. And you see these big tractors going down the street with shovels on the front.
Well, they had a group came out on horseback. It's like thousands of people on horseback came back and met them at the border and rode along the border with them.
Wow. I'm telling you, we've got to stop this lunacy. It's going to get nuts. Oh man, Bill, you were showing me something earlier too, kind of segueing into the next segment. You were just showing me something about what you can find on Google now.
All right. As one of the things we've told you before, everybody's like, we say something, they go, well, I'll Google that, and it says that that's wrong. Well, let's just show you a couple Google searches here.
Oh my God.
One of the Google searches that we came up with is, let's see, where did it go? Let's see.
Folks, I'm telling you, you're going to love this.
All right, let's see. Here we go. Let me get back there.
This is why we tell you use Proton Mail and DuckDuckGo.
Okay, can you see this? There's a common question. Is hydrochloroquine effective in treating COVID-19? No, there's no evidence that taking hydrochloroquine is effective. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Ivermectin. Is ivermectin effective? Ivermectin is not FDA approved to treat COVID. Therefore, it does not work.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Here comes the big one. Can a man get pregnant? It is possible. Yes, it's possible for men to become pregnant and give birth to children of their own.
What the
Okay. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's Google search.
Why do you all still use Google? They have changed. They have literally. Go ahead.
I have no words. Okay. Where do they think anyone will believe that a man can get pregnant?
Well, I will say this.
That brings us to the athlete in the Beijing Olympics.
Oh, God.
Who is making history as the first binary sexual being, whatever the hell that is. It's a dude who's gay and says he's binary. Whatever binary means, I have no idea. You're either a dude or you're a dudette. I mean, there's no in between.
That's the argument that everybody's giving across the freaking United States. It's like, look, when you go to the doctor, they're going to know if you're a man or a woman.
You're one or the other. If you think you're something else, then you have what is called psychological problems. I'm sorry.
And this administration is literally just feeding the psychological problem. But what I was going to say, Bill, is maybe what Google is getting at here is all of those men out there with these beer bellies. They're just assuming they're pregnant. Because I've seen some beer bellies. I'm sorry. I'm just joking with you guys out there with beer bellies, man. Don't hate me for that. But no, there's no way that a man can become pregnant. It is just not possible. That is not the way a man was made. Sorry if I hurt somebody's feelings or if I'm being insensitive, but fact is fact. If you go to the doctor, they're going to know if you're a man or a woman. And then because of that, there's going to be different treatments for you if you are a man or if you are a woman. That's just part of it. Holy crap. I think the real problem, Bill, is that, and I think I've heard some people in different places say, well, you know, they want to cancel you if you're not agreeing with them and everything like that. Once again, we've got to stop giving into the lunacy and the stupidity of this. I'm not worried about being canceled. Nobody pays my bills. You know, I work. That pays my bills. Because of what somebody wants me to say about them, you know, that doesn't bother me. I don't really care. Gets on my freaking nerves.
It's crazy. I mean, God, it's crazy. I got no words, man. I mean, how can anyone even go along with this?
You know, I know what you mean. I exactly know what you mean. This is complete insanity. You know, if you're going to be a person who likes the same gender, that's fine. Do you? We understand that. But normally you still say that you're a man or a woman, whether you like the same gender or not. But, do your thing. But when you get into the fact that, okay, now you like the same gender, but you don't identify as that gender, and you identify as something magical and mystical out here that doesn't actually exist, that's when logic and common sense start to go, start to kick in and like, dude, and then you want to start using they, them pronoun or they, them to describe him and her. And I just confused myself. What the hell was I getting at?
In other words, you believe you're whatever you want to believe, a unicorn or whatever, but to me, you're either a man or a woman.
Right.
And that's it.
And the English language, which is one of the hardest languages to learn because there's different slangs and dialects, it still has the basic thing. You have your nouns, pronouns, adjectives, and verbs. And a noun describes a person, place, or thing. That's it. You can't use an adjective to describe a person. That's not how it was set up. Why am I teaching English right now? This is stupid. Let's move on, please. Golly. Once again, this is making my head hurt. But, Bill, let's go back to this Ukraine thing, because that's been another issue as well. Now, here's something for everybody. Need to take note of this. You need to start watching. Russia has now developed a partnership with China. They have been on the news. They've seen Putin and the Chinese, whatever he is, shaking hands. They've come to an agreement on something. And this Ukraine deal is the big topic. I saw on liberal media earlier that people are wanting to protest and they're asking Biden to find a peaceful solution without going to war.
Biden couldn't find his ass as a whore.
I know it. Folks, Trump had all of this locked up. Trump had it on lockdown. Clack, clack. Wasn't nobody doing nothing. And then an election was stolen. Yes, I said it. An election was stolen. And we've got Tweedledee and Tweedledum up there, whose kids, who a lot of their kids have businesses in Ukraine making millions of dollars and don't even live in Ukraine or go to Ukraine for that business, do they, Bill? So how do you earn millions of dollars sitting over here in another country, but the business is in another country and they just give you money?
Because your daddy's the president.
Yeah. Well, it's not just him. It's Pelosi's relatives and freaking, it's all the Democrats up there in Washington basically have some type of tie. But folks, we said it last time. It was the United States, and it was Ronald Reagan too, wasn't it, Bill, that got Ukraine to join NATO?
Oh no, it was after Reagan.
It was after Reagan. It was
in the
Bush.
90s. It was after the wall came down, and it was after the Gulf War. So it was late 90s, early 2000s.
Right.
So, we were going in and out of there getting all these guys to like NATO, not Warsaw Pact anymore. But
right.
It was, once they became a part, we are obligated to take care of them.
Well, it's not just us, though. It's just all of NATO.
All NATO. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
NATO is obligated to help them out. Now, you told me the other day you saw an interview where a guy was a retired lieutenant colonel or something that was
Oh,
saying, "Oh, just let them have it,"
yeah.
Well, what's the rest of NATO going to think if we just start letting members and let them have that part? We don't need that part. Nobody's going to join NATO. Nobody's going to be in NATO.
And not only that, that gives China a bigger reason to take Taiwan back.
Yep. Because they know we ain't going to do no. Oh, just let them have Taiwan.
So let them have Taiwan, let them have Ukraine. And basically what that winds up doing is we'll be on an island by ourselves. That'll be for damn sure.
Yeah.
Because, it's the NATO coalitions that, when something starts to go down in a country, that come together and give the, opposing or oppressing country enough to make them back off, basically. So, look, my deal was
there's another thing going around that the U.S. is trying to say that Russia is going to have a false flag showing that Ukraine attacked them first to give them reason to go in. It's just a lot of saber rattling and a lot of nonsense going on over there.
well, one thing for sure, Putin wants Ukraine back. This is the first move on this giant chessboard that we call Earth that could lead to a series of different things. Could it lead to World War III? Yes. But the response from our leadership is going to determine a lot of it as well. And I'm sorry, I just don't have faith in them. I have faith in our soldiers and our military men, which I'm behind fully. But our leadership above that, I got very little faith in.
You and me both.
So as great as our men and women are in the military and as training that they have, we've got to do something. I'm still preaching it, 2022 election. We've got to get some strength back in this nation. And don't let this liberal media hoodoo you, and stop using Google. DuckDuckGo, Proton Mail. Anything else I'm forgetting, Bill?
Yeah, that's pretty much got it.
I was trying to look here and see what else we had that showed up or came up. Really the biggest things have been Ukraine and Whoopi. I mean, I do
Ukraine,
not.
Whoopi, and go Joe Rogan.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, now, Bill, you know what they did to poor Joe Rogan? They have taken, and I watched Brandon Tatum. So shout out to Brandon Tatum and his podcast. Now they have somebody has pieced together different parts of Rogan's podcast and his words. And now they are trying to discredit him as a racist because he said the N-word. But if you look at the video that they have out, they have pieced together the things to where it looks like what he said was very racist. So they're trying now to discredit him as a racist. So now some of these Black songwriters and rappers are now putting pressure on Spotify. Folks, this is stupid. Brandon Tatum has already said, we know Joe Rogan's not racist. He's had several Black people on his show, including Candace Owens. All he's doing is trying to have conversation. But now they're trying to label him as racist, Bill. And from what I understand it is, he said that when he was talking about the N-word, I don't think he really ever said it, but it's the way they pieced together the clips.
Mm-hmm.
But he explained it like, and what he says is true. There's no denying it. He said there's no other word in the English language that holds so much power than that word. He said there's only one race can say it and use it, and that word itself is off limits to everybody else. You know, that's what he was trying to imply about the word, which is true. I mean, there's no other word like it.
Don't make him racist.
Yeah. So that's what he was going with it, but they're trying to discredit him as a racist now. And I'm just like, gosh.
It's I don't know what has happened here, but people have just lost their damn minds.
Yes.
That's all I can say.
And I'm going to throw this out there too. And of course, everybody told me it was a good idea, but I gave the idea that what we need to do is maybe start a new system of schooling, which basically wherever you live, your school system, you break it down into communities. So now that your actual community, say you live in, well, I gave the example, you live out in Nancy. Say you're living out there, that's your community. And then if you have a child, you would pay that community school directly for the education of your child. If you didn't, you would pay a percentage school tax, but you know that it was going to that school specifically for children in that school. So then you would have control of the teachers, and every community around would have their own school. It's kind of almost like going back to the one-room schoolhouse again. And then you wouldn't have as many students bunched up in classes. You wouldn't have 30 kids to one teacher in a classroom and craziness like that. So just a thought. So
Make it work.
yeah, take it for what it's worth. But the way the school systems are run now, they're too political and they're run too much by the government. Way too much.
Oh, we definitely need to revamp the whole education system. I have no doubt about that.
Oh yeah. It's and to
I
go
had-
back
I had my little spill of teaching time, and I'd never go back to that. Mhm.
I couldn't deal with it either. I don't have the patience.
That wasn't the kids. It was the
Parents?
bullshit, and it was the bullshit that I was told this is
What you had to teach.
what you had to teach, and I'm like, no, it's not right. So that's why I didn't last very long as a teacher.
Yeah. And then, to go along with that concept, Bill, where would your curriculum come from? Well, there's all now in place homeschooling educational material for homeschooling out there. You could just adopt that material education for your community schools. You wouldn't have to use whatever's coming from the government.
Mhm.
There's good Christian-based educational tools, as well as, just making sure that the history is correct. So, but yeah, we need to revamp it. Where are we at on time?
4 minutes.
4 minutes? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's about all I got. I kind of ranted a little bit.
Let's see if anything's come over the wires here real fast.
But while you're taking that, like I said, folks, Proton Mail, if you want a good, secure email system, DuckDuckGo, it'll get you the truth. If you want to hear the truth, if you want to continue to listen to that bull crap we just showed you, that a man can get pregnant. This is stupid. This is almost dumb for even having this conversation. If it wasn't true and didn't happen, cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria.
That's about all I can see that's going on here right now at the moment. Um, yeah, that's about it.
Well, like I said, or like we said, the main things are going to be watching this Ukraine situation and watching Canada. Uh, you know, these truck drivers are driving the roads constantly, delivering goods and services to all parts of the United States and Canada. And that's their job. And they chose to do it because majority of them like the open road and they like driving. There may be some that are doing it to help get their bills paid, but you got to like that job, and those guys keep this country running. They keep Canada running. And we've said it before, we'll say it again. If you want to take the vaccine, it should be your choice to do so. No matter what anybody else says, if you make up your mind that you want to do it, then do it. But it's on the same standpoint, if you don't want to do it, that should be your choice as well.
Yep, I agree.
We've said our piece. Bill, you got anything else?
That's about it. Just what is next week?
Super Bowl Sunday.
And we are planning to have what? A super show.
We'll have a little super show next Sunday.
Well, super Bowl show. I think we should have all of us together under one roof.
Yeah, we'll have to give it Justin, see how he's feeling. I think he'll be better by then.
Yeah.
I don't think he really got out of the bed much today. So
we're planning a big Super Bowl party for the show next week, and ought to be a good one. Maybe have a few special guests pop in.
San Diego Chargers and the Cincinnati Bengals, right?
No.
The
Los Angeles Rams.
Well,
And the Bengals.
I can't freaking keep up with freaking California and their pro teams. I've just about stopped watching football too. The only thing have been watching is still rugby still. But okay, so the Los Angeles Rams and Cincinnati Bengals. Who's your money on, Bill? Got any picks?
I'm hoping Cincinnati wins, but
I'm gonna go against you on that. I've never been a Bengals fan. I know some people around here like Cincinnati just because of the close
proximity. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, check us out on our website, bluecollarminutemen.com. You can find the video at the bottom of the home page and check us out. Oh, you can also email us from the website. Just click on the link. Should be about 3/4 of the way down the page. If you want to email us, and our email address is bluecollarminutemen@protonmail.com. Or if you just click on that link, it'll automatically put that in the box and you can send us an email about your questions, comments about the show, anything you would like to see us discuss on the show. We'd like to hear from you. And always, we're on Facebook, MeWe, Spreely. We're on Rumble, BitChute.
Spotify.
For now. A lot of our older episodes are on Spotify. And I think that's about it. I'm still going to have to get like a list or something. And let's put a program and let's just have it scroll down the page. But we're working on it, folks. I actually got some ideas. Hopefully that'll help improve our visual acuity and things. But that's it for us this week.
Let's go, Brandon.
We the people.
Y'all have a great week.
Yeah. God bless y'all. God bless America. We'll see you.